Hey.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is for you, wherever you are in this great big world, whatever dimension you're coming into, maybe a static planet out there somewhere, whatever the case, welcome to. Oh, wait a minute. My God. My name's Michael John. I'm from Michael John Paranormal Ghost Stories. That's my co-ghost host, the man of the hour, the man of the power, wow, sweet to be sour. His name, of course, is Dale. High spirits quickly together. We are the voice of the paranormal, the voice for the paranormal. We are Windsor, Ontario's own, the paranormal voice. And I want to say welcome to every one of you of the TPV Nation that's tuning in right here, right now, live on Facebook, as well as YouTube. A couple comments already from Terry Calabrese. Hello, Mark. That's our guest. So excited for this. And of course, the paranormal voice saying, Terry, glad you are here. Terry says, I love Mark. I'm so excited for him to be on your show, as are we. And we're going to get to him in a minute. First and foremost, I want to talk about a couple upcoming dates. So tonight we have Mark Herzog, 8 p.m. live. We're doing that. That's happening right now. On May 24th, that's Wednesday night, we'll have the one and only Lala, who is also an experiencer involved heavily into the metaphysical as well as Mark. Very similar parallels. Coming up May 31st, that'll be Wednesday night, we'll have Shane Michael Crisp, who is part of the North American Dogman Project, something near and dear to my heart, as it all is. And then the week after will be, ladies and gentlemen, no, I went to July, whoopsie daisy. So Wednesday, 31st, Shane Michael Crisp. And then June the 8th, which is a Thursday night, we'll have BMR, Bigfoot, Michigan Rob. That's a whole other favorite of Michael John's, Bigfoot and Dogman. I'm going to lose my mind in the next few weeks. So with that,
Absolutely.
Right, Dale? You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, come to my place.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right, Michael John. The next few weeks, our guests are gonna mind-blowing guests, and like tonight's guest is no different. We're excited that we met this guy, and I'll tell you, I've never seen Michael John so excited about talking about a person than our guests that we have tonight. So, but I just want to acknowledge we have our good friend Crystal tuning in on our Facebook side. So, Crystal, how you doing, Crystal? Thank you for joining us. But yeah, no, I've been so excited today. So,
I'll tell you,
should we bring our guest on or what?
No. We gotta build it up. We gotta build it up.
Oh,
so yes, we did meet him at the Body, Mind, and Spirit Spring Fling. That was in Oxford, Michigan, a few weeks back. Thanks to XC Susan Bruce Smith and Candace Isaacson. Mwah, we love both those ladies. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here with Mark now, and so many other reasons why we love them. This guy, gentleman, a virtual unknown, but I'm telling you, Dylan, I strongly believe he's going to be very well known. I hope this is his launching pad. That's what we are about. It's about getting the paranormal community together, the paranormal friends and family together. And like our good friend Sarah Jane always says, from the Get Haunted crew, there's plenty of room for everybody in the sandbox. And this is no different right here, right now. So like I was saying, so Mark, his name is Mark Herzog. He's an experiencer, a starseed, among other metaphysical abilities, just coming into his own unique abilities. I had a chance to talk to that guy. I called him to talk about the show. We ended up having over an hour conversation, and it was like talking to someone I've always known. It was incredible. He also did a little something to me that we're going to get into in the show as well. And I was having this isn't PG. I was having a shit day, honestly, and for some reason I decided to tell Mark about my life, which I don't do. I'm a pretty close person, and Mark gave me like a love blessing, if you will, and it changed exactly my whole being for the day, and it actually trailed on to the next day, and I shared that with our good friend Mary Bassett as well. But again, you don't want to miss this interview, kiddies. Without further ado, let's bring this gentleman in. Mark Herzog, welcome to the TPV Nation and Windsor, Ontario's own, the Paranormal Voice.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And what an honor to be here and giving me such a privilege to, talk about my story and talk about, everything that has been happening. And I sincerely want to say thank you for that, for giving me this opportunity.
Happy to do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We were very excited to have you here to bring you aboard and introduce you to the TPV Nation because you know what? And I think by the end of this interview today, I think you are going to inspire a whole other group of people that are going to be out here watching us and future shows because I mean, this show after today just doesn't end, folks. You can go watch the replay anytime over on our YouTube channel. And for those of you that are just joining us in tonight, who might know Mark. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time talking today.
It's okay.
Mark, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see other exciting guests just like this one right now. So, yeah, no, we're grateful to have you on board. So, thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you, really. And it's funny because, like, since everything's been happening so fast, I haven't even had the opportunity to really make like a really good platform for myself. So I'm gonna have to like really start doing that very soon.
It starts today, brother. It starts today.
Yes, it does. So, it does.
You and I, like I was saying, as I was introducing you, you're waiting backstage. I mean, what a conversation you and I had. It changed my day. And even when you call that a love blessing, correct? What you did?
Mm-hmm.
Did
I say it was. Proper? All I did was do like maybe just like a little love session, sending you love because I feel love is, the most powerful frequency that you can use when it comes to healing and, changing someone else's perspective. Yeah. Doing it with love can do a lot of things. And it's just a one small seed that you can plant and watch it grow within someone. And, so like I just sent you a whole bunch of love and put it pretty much like around your aura field. And when you're willing to accept it, it'll come through. And that's why we kind of did like a little meditation to help you let go of the negatives, so you had room to bring in all of this love to do what you will with it.
And what was amazing about that, and this happened with my friend Mary Bassett as well. One time when I was doing a past life regression set, well, she had me put under for a past life regression session. It involves my cats. And what was amazing when you were doing this, Mark, and my cats weren't even in the room with me all of a sudden. So I just recently got a kitten to go with my older cat. And the kitten came in and she's putting her paw on me. She's pawing me while you're putting me through this love. And I was like, they caught the vibe is my point. Animals have that seventh sense. Everybody says sixth sense. I say seventh sense because they're so incredible. But both the cats came in the room. They did not leave until you and I were done on the phone. I think they hung out a little bit after that. But I want to back up now.
Okay.
Got back up to one day you came into your own, if you will. I mean, how did this all start for you? When did you get a clue? Something's different about it?
Well, back in the day, like when growing up, when I was really little, I used to always have questions about stuff like this, tarot readings and psychics and people that can do all these crazy fun things. And it was entertaining when I was little because I was little. I didn't understand. But I grew up in Catholic, being a Catholic. And I went through catechism, did the whole 9 yards. And I didn't feel like I was getting the right answers. And I used to really question some of my teachers, and my teachers would just kind of like change the topic, change the subject, or try to manipulate the convo to just end it. They just didn't have the answers. They're just kind of doing their thing. They're just there to get their paycheck kind of deal.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how I felt. So I didn't really get the answers I wanted. And I have a best friend who his whole family owned a spiritual shop. And I started asking lots of questions while I was there and started learning little things. And but I wasn't a firm believer about it. It's like I was, but to a point. I think my life had to go through a lot of tower effects between then and when I started becoming an adult in order to kind of face all of the the inner demons, if you want to call it, that was within me, and to kind of fight for peace within myself. And obviously that keeps going to the day we die. But it's how it got here was the biggest thing when I met another friend who introduced me to these abilities. She started teaching me that I was a very strong empath. And I had to learn what being an empath was all about. When I got through my last few tower effects that got me to this point, things just started progressing. I started listening to Dolores Cannon. And if anybody hasn't listened to her, I recommend just to do so, even just a couple books, just to be open-minded about it, because her work is phenomenal and it really does change lives. Here I am, it ended up going from there, and I was so intrigued because I had a moment when, because I love meditating, and I was meditating and I felt like I was abducted. Like the whole day just seemed off. I even felt almost like I was violated in a sense, not in a physical sense, but more in a mental sense. Like I just felt like something was off. Like, I don't know. I felt really rubbed wrong. And I think it was just because I didn't understand it. I got up out of my meditation. I'm looking at the time and I'm like, oh my God, what happened? Like I felt like everything just kind of went so fast, and it was only for like a minute, but it really went through my whole lunch. Yeah. So, I got to work, and as I'm walking around, I'm just finishing doing my job and stuff. I just couldn't like shake it off. And I got home, I did another meditation on it, and something just felt weird. So I finished listening to all the Dolores Cannon books, and it started feeling like, maybe I was taken, So I wanted to get a hypnosis done for myself. So I found someone, and this person, he learned a lot from Dolores Cannon. That was a big inspiration of him too. And of wanting to learn. And so he took a lot of her practices, and he's also a Reiki master. So he kind of blends in Reiki with his sessions. And when I had that session, life has not been the same. It has really opened so many things. Like I remember re-listening to my session, because he told me, he's like, you got like so much time to re-listen to your session so it pops, it gets into your head. He's like, you'll understand when you do it. And I was like, okay. I listened to it, and as soon as it ended, it was just a massive flow of just information coming at me. It was like, it was emotional. It was and I couldn't like control these emotions going through because it was so quick and very intense. Like I started crying. I was like, I wasn't sure what was going on. Yeah. And I called him, and I'm crying on the phone with him, and he's just like, just relax, just breathe. He helped me like relax for a minute, and he explained. He's like, it's a lot to take in at first. He's like, it's okay. This is normal. He's like, I strongly feel that you are a very special person. Yeah. You experienced a lot. So he's like, just take it easy. He's like, we'll chat soon. Because he didn't want to like baby me. He wanted me to kind of just go along with it and just take what I need during the moment. I see. So I respect him so much for that, because I really did genuinely needed that. It took a couple months for me to really understand a lot of this. And even still to this day, I'm still getting so many downloads every day since that's happened. So that's pretty much how it all began and where I'm at now. And when I did my hypnosis session, it was in November of this last year. So it hasn't even been a full year. And my abilities have been heightening. And they're heightened to a degree where now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, which ones are coming through? Because they're all very similar. You just got to focus and tune into something specific in order to understand what you're going through. But it's been wild, so wild.
That's, and that's amazing. And just acknowledge some more people that popped on since you were talking there, Mark. Our good friend Rhonda Hart popped in, and Ann Bender popped in.
That's
And
awesome.
the very lovely Mary Bassett is here. Mary, thank you for popping in. And it's, your journey to this point so far has been, the way you describe it, it's coming at you so fast. But I believe like this is how it's probably has to happen, more or less, because we've heard different stories, and yours is very similar to a lot of other ones we've heard. Because it's all new, it's relative, and I think it's because now that you're aware of what's happening, it's like now it's just throwing this at you. But at the same time, it's probably like at a pace where it knows you can handle it at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes lots of sense. I know and trust my guides very well, that I know that they're not going to give me too much that I can't handle, because that's not what we're all here for. They want to see us succeed, so they're not going to do something that's going to possibly make us fail. So I genuinely know that everything's happening for a reason. I mean, it brought all of us together to have this moment right now, and I just trust that it's for the greater good. Like you mentioned, in the very beginning of this, of all of this, you even mentioned that this show is supposed to be something for people like me to speak out, tell that truth, and just hope that it makes at least one person to change their life for the better, and to come forward and to want to share their story. Because I was just a normal Joe, like I was just in this trapped cycle that was very if you want to say Matrix like. It's just, I was just really stuck in that. And just someone like me and all of these experiences that came through, I mean, if you think back, I had to have had stuff happen to me in order to be at that moment as well. So It was, everything is, you come here, and please, I'm going to say this first before I go forward in any more of this. Like, this is only my truth, and from what I've gained, what I've learned my own self through my journey. This may not be everyone's perspective, and I respect that. It's just my own perspective on what I've learned. So, I don't want to offend anybody. If they disagree with my perspective, that's okay. Because I love learning other perspectives. Like I love challenging my belief system every day. I mean, I have to, doing all of this, but honestly, I've literally got to say, like, learning all of these different things have just been extremely difficult, to say the least. Trying to understand this truth, I feel very genuine. Like you were also mentioning, how we're getting really close to a moment where we need to all join together. With this joining, in my own perspective, in my own opinion, we are getting really close to an ascension. But there's an outer, there's a lot of people on the outside of this matrix, which in my perspective, ETs, for example, they're all trying to harmonize this moment of this ascension, because let's say, like, this is a huge, massive amount of people that's going to be ascending all at once. And They need the numbers. And so a lot of our Starseed communities, I feel a lot of us are starting to get a lot of these similar experiences happening to them in order to help the numbers in here as well as they're working in the outside and trying to kind of help the ascension to kind of meet halfway. So it's vital. We need to come together and learn from one another.
And just to back up just a little bit, Mark, there about what you just said at the beginning of all that. Yes, this is your journey, and nobody in the world has a right to tell you how your journey should be going because this
Exactly.
is how you this is how you get through the day-to-day life of becoming who you are, this amazing person who you're becoming. So there is no right or wrong, and anybody who has an opinion on how your journey goes, that's nobody to say. Like this is a big world, and we all just need to share the love into just to bring a point into. I was at the uh, Parapsychon today event, and a good friend of ours, Dustin Perry, was there doing a speech, and he was doing his presentation, and it went totally sideways, but in a good way. That if anybody knows Dustin Perry, he's a very, very loving and loves to spread the love and joy about life and wants to bring people up in the world. And a lot of what you just said was almost exact message that Dustin Perry related to everybody in the room. He was talking about something totally different, and he just felt compelled that he had to share the love message that we need just to stop all this bickering and
Yeah.
opinions of what's going on and just show love to one another instead of judging people for being different. And let's face it, in this community, this paranormal community, we're different than a lot of people. Not to say that we're any better, but you know what, we love to spread the love. And I hope today your message, as well as a lot of other people, get out there and will be able just to be who you guys are and not to be afraid to say that this is who I am and I'm proud to be this way. And this is what this platform is all about. And so, yeah, it's we're so, like I said, I can't express enough how happy we are to have you. Hey, Cheryl Lynn Carter, thank you for joining us.
Cheryl.
Chris Valentino, thank you for joining us. So yeah, I mean, this show is just. I mean, you're bringing these people in, Mark. Everybody wants to hear your story. So
Absolutely.
Well, I'm very pleased to tell it. I love telling the story because it just makes me feel like I'm like letting go of so much that I kept in for such a long time.
Good for you.
I was telling Michael on the phone when we had our talk, like it was almost like I was in a denial stage with my experiences on what happened. Um, I was talking about it with like a very small group of people that I keep up with spirituality, but they're all kind of piggybacking, off of me with their own experiences, like how we all should. So I have to be careful on how much I express because I don't want to ruin their perspective on things because they may not be ready for some of that stuff, and that's not my call. So I really held back a lot that I just kept holding, and it was like as soon as I got to the chance to like meet one person, which Michael John, I'm so sorry because you were a victim of that. It's like as soon as I meet someone that I can really relate to and talk to about this stuff, like I can literally talk for so many hours, and I try not to be that guy, but I'm that guy because I'm so social and I get very passionate with with all of this. So it's a beautiful story, and I'm very pleased to be able to share that with everybody.
Mark, and I just want to touch on that real quick here. That conversation, I needed it as much as you did. You have no idea, and we will have many more.
Very.
So thank you so much for taking the time to share your life's journey, because I mean it's a hell of a journey, and here we are now.
Yeah, thank you.
So many things I want to ask you just based on our conversation, and we talked about everything from A to Z at the Body, Mind, and Spirit event in Oxford. Holy cow! We might as well just sat down and had dinner that day.
Yeah, right. Like, I think when I started talking about the Sasquatch, Bigfoot stuff, and the things that I've learned and what I know of them, and when we started talking about that, you were like, I noticed your facial expression going from like, oh, like you actually know a good amount of stuff. Like, okay. So, and as soon as you gave me that, I was like, now I got someone to talk to. This is awesome. Because I was like really holding back.
Nah, yeah, and you know what? And we say this about everybody on the TPV Nation and the Para family, the Para friends, all that. We're all a bunch of creeps, freaks, and weirdos, and that's why we all get along, because we're all into the same stuff, and that's it, and that's okay. Whatever you want to talk about, you talk about it, and no one's going to look down their eye at you or cross-eyed or anything like that. We're here to listen, and look at my ears. You know I can listen, bro. So
yeah, it's been so fun. Like I've learned so much from Dolores Cannon, and
yes,
and Dolores Cannon being such a huge person for my learning, I started tapping into a little bit of Joe Dispenza. And that really helped me, like, it was like during the time of like reprogramming myself on how to think certain ways, trying to let go of the negative, and trying to like manifest a more beautiful manifestation. I wanted to be able to manifest a life for myself that I was going to be the most happiest on my highest timeline, where I'm capable of helping a mass, like that's what I wanted, because from my heart, I want to be able to give someone an inspiration to maybe talk about their story, or maybe in the future, if they have an experience, they have a way to be able to come forth and, talk about that experience, whether from you guys or other people that are doing the same work. We're all in this journey, and we're supposed to be coming together, and it's going to be an equal ground. No matter who started first or who started last, it doesn't matter. What matters is that we are all learning the same things, and some of us are just a little bit more knowledgeable than others, and some people have a little bit more tools than others during the moment. But it all changes and it's frequent. So someone that had nothing could literally wake up the next day and have so much. And it's when it's their time, it's their time to shine. They're going to shine, because that's what they're here to do.
Absolutely. And I could, you said it so well. We are all on this journey together. We might be at different spots in the journey, but we are in the journey where we're supposed to be at this moment. And like I said, I don't think things don't happen by accident anymore. And I'm learning that very quickly. We were meant to be at that event. We were meant to meet you, and we're so happy we did. And here we are today, sharing this amazing story. If anybody on the side has a question for Mark, don't be shy. Ask him. He's pretty open. I just wanted to point this out real quick, that Terry said, Mark, you are a prolific channeler. Much of what you share is freely being channeled or channeling. But no, like I said, that's very well put. Like, what you're putting out there right now, I mean, this is going to probably help so many people.
I hope so. I really genuinely hope so. Like, I literally, I love talking. I know I wanted to say like 3 different things all at the same time. I'm sorry. Archangel Michael. I love talking to Archangel Michael. Like, I have these moments when I'm driving home from work, and I just talk out loud, like I'm Like I'm talking to him like he's in the seat on my passenger seat. And when I was talking with him, I literally I kept telling him like how much I genuinely just want to see everybody have what I have. I want everybody to have the experience of, feeling abundant within. And because when you start feeling abundant within and you start really opening your eyes around you, like things just start changing for the better. Because what I've been learning, it's thoughts are energy, words are energy, and your actions are energy. And if you can match all three of those together, you are simultaneously manifesting in the fifth dimension, bringing it down from the fourth dimension into a bridge leading into the fifth or leading into the third. So you are in this third dimensional world, and the fourth dimension is where your guides are at, your guardian angels, everything. They're helping you, trying to bring what you're manifesting to this physical. And it's so beautiful when you get to look at it in another perspective like that, because then you're just like, wow, so it's really that easy? Okay, so if it's that easy, then that means as long as I can find my own happiness within, to the point where I'm not thinking negative towards others or myself, and I can speak it and genuinely really bring it from my heart when I speak it, as well as doing and living by example, by giving that love to others and being there for others when you have that opportunity. It really does make a huge change. It's like a ripple effect, and that's what it's mainly about. This ascension is part of this big wave that's coming in of many people that's starting to wake up and starting to understand that there's more to this world than what there really was to them. And perspectives start to change. And people like us, we have to all be there ready to help them. So I feel like this little bit of this journey that I've been having is them trying to help me get to that part where I'm standing in my own power and being ready to help others when that time comes. And when that time comes, it comes. It can be 20 years from now, 50 years from now. There could be people that just started watching this episode, and the download might come through, and that seed that I planted might do something, and that's beautiful to me. So that's pretty much where I want to be. I want to be able to genuinely help everyone and show them that it doesn't matter how you look at yourself in a negative manner. You can be looking at yourself in a much positive manner the next day, depending on how bad you really want to try and work. Your inner work, it takes some time. It takes time, and you have to be very open and understand that your belief system is going to crumble and rebuild on the daily because of your experiences. And how I told Michael John, what I've been learning now is trying to be an observer, trying to take things as they are, and understanding that your emotions are a physical thing. It's your physical body experiencing these emotions. And being an observer, sitting outside of that situation, now you are having a spiritual experience, because now you're able to observe your reality during that moment as just a physical. And when things are happening to you, you can now interpret it the way you see fit, your own truth during that moment. To piggyback what you were saying, Dale, earlier when you were mentioning, just what people believe in. When it comes to other people's belief systems and their stories and their, and whatever that they've gone through, the right information comes at the right time, and it's going to happen whether you need to hear it or not in your physical reality. You may think that, whatever I'm saying might be affecting you in a negative manner, and that's okay. Maybe that might be the reason why you had to hear it from me. You
Right.
know, maybe that was something to help me. That negative reaction, maybe it would be something that I can maybe work within. It doesn't hurt to look as an observer and just to look at everything, your ripple effect of everything that you've said, thought of, because at the end of the day, what you are experiencing at that moment, you are creating it with your thoughts, your words, and your actions. So right now, we can all basically take our power back and start learning that the truth starts within, not the out. You can listen to other people's truths, listen to everyone that what they have to say, and take what resonates and don't take what doesn't. Just let it go and look at it as an observer point of view, as an open perspective, and just go with it. And if, let's say, the next day or the next week you're like, it doesn't fit, then let it go. It's okay,
Right.
because that's why you're having these experiences, is to learn from them. We are a spirit having a human experience, not the other way around. So when you start understanding that a day to day, whether it's you waking out of bed when your alarm goes off or hitting the snooze button 5 minutes, it doesn't matter how you start your day, the things are going to play out the way they should, depending on how you are taking your perspective. You are manifesting your life day to day, and it's really cool.
Wow, talk about school being in session right now. Oh my God, this is awesome. No, this is. I could listen. I could sit and listen to you for a while, my man, longer than an hour. That's for sure.
Right.
Now, I noticed underneath your name the words "Beautiful Manifestations," and that's your company, correct?
Yes.
And what do you offer?
Well, I run the company with my friend. We are right now in the midst of building this company, trying to make it, as a platform where we kind of have some solid stuff. But what we're trying to go for, I want to start making candles.
Yeah.
So once I start making candles, I'd love to be able to, sell those candles on the website that we're still in the middle of making.
Sure.
I want to be able to help people learn how to cleanse homes, how to, teach them. And then we have our products. If you want to buy some of that stuff to use for your cleansing, then you're welcome to it. She does jewelry, amazing work. They're beautiful jewelry. She makes me stuff and I love it. She comes and stays with me too from time to time because she lives somewhere else.
Okay.
But we travel back and forth. We help each other out, and we're in this together. She was a huge mentor of mine and a best friend, and I'm so privileged to be able to take this experience to a whole next level, with someone that I can really trust.
So, Mark, do you now, with what you during our phone call,
Yes.
you offered and I can't think of so it was a love. Finish the sentence for me. A love.
Oh, I was just calling it like a love session because
Okay.
I wanted to kind of send you some love and
Yes, but
help you out.
Why I'm asking is that something that will be available through your company, Beautiful Manifestations, if someone wanted.
I don't see why not. Yeah, if someone wanted that, I would be more than happy to, talk them through a meditation, and whether it be on the phone or Zoom, or any platform, whatever suits their needs. And, we can go through like a little session. I can talk them through a meditation, help them relax and let go of some negative emotions, and, fill them with a lot of love. And before I go, I can try and teach them if they're interested in wanting to know a little details of how to do that. I can tell them if they're up to it.
Yeah, you definitely get my endorsement for that, and I'm going to be following up to learn that from you for my own benefit as well, because I can't
Anytime.
speak enough of what it did for me. Wow. I had the worst day ever, and my day changed in an instant from because you did that for me. So
Good. I'm really happy for you.
Well, thank you very much, Dale. There's a couple comments. I can't see the names. I'm sorry. Please.
So yeah, we have we'll start. Stacy Bellamy said, "Be the change you want to see," which I agree with 100%. People want to change things. Well, you have to start changing within before you can change what's out. But Chris Valentino asked a very interesting question. Does Mark have any suggestions on meditation to encourage downloads?
Oh, that is a very good question. Well, again, let's look at it in this perspective. You get downloads because that is basically coming from a source, right? A download is basically, something that you're channeling. You're getting this information from a source, whether it be your God, an archangel. I mean, you name it. There's so many different things out there that can be, giving you this info. So you get this download and you're trying to understand it. Well, you have to be careful too, to piggyback on what I said. You have to be very careful on what you're channeling. So instead of trying to give you information on how to meditate and get downloads, I would suggest before doing so to try and learn how to kind of shield yourself, ground yourself through a meditation. Know that you're doing the right protection, because you don't really know. You got to understand, once you ring that bell, you can't unring it. When you open yourself to what you're trying to channel or trying to meditate to get a certain download, you are taking information from something. You have to please, when you get something, you have to really sit with it and try to see if that is your truth, because there are lots of tricksters out there, whether it be for a negative reason or not. They might be trying to be playful, and they sometimes don't realize, their actions with reactions and what they're doing in the physical realm, because they don't live in this. So, you got to take this information, very carefully. But if you want to do a meditation, ground yourself first, ask for some protection. Archangel Michael loves to protect people. He loves to help. He wants to help anybody that's willing to allow him to do so. He wants to work with people to help them understand that protection is really needed. And he'd be willing to work with you as well to help teach you that, if you open yourself to that. But meditating, if you want to get channels, you have to learn your own inner dialogue before you understand when you're getting these downloads. But when you're getting downloads, you'll know. Things will be coming through. Sometimes it might sound like someone else's voice. Other times it might sound like yours, because there's a possibility that it might even be your higher self, trying to give you information. So, and that's where I'm kind of learning right now, with my abilities that's kind of heightened. I don't really necessarily know sometimes if it's a guardian angel, if it's Archangel Michael, since I, talk with him very frequent, if it's my guides. So I've been working with them to let them give me a certain voice dialogue in my head to know who is who. Because obviously they're not going to know unless you ask. And that's also another really cool thing I'm going to let you know too. Start learning to work with your guides to get more downloads. Your guides are there to guide you. That's their job. And if you don't give them things to do, they are just going to keep doing things that's going to, it's basically signing off on what you came here to learn. You have main experiences that you came here to do. They're just going to help you along the ways. But if you ask for help, hey, I want to learn some downloads. I want to learn how to be able to get more downloads from you guys or just other sources if I tune into it, then they will start working with you and have you experience things to help you acknowledge that type of an ability. It can be as easy as going on TikTok, and the first 5 videos that you watch, there's going to be something in there talking about how to meditate and be able to get downloads from your guides or something.
Right.
And it can be easy as that. And when you get those types of signs in your life, take it as is. Just look at it as an observer, listen to what they have to say, take what resonates with you and practice. But also know that it takes time too. Don't be so hard on yourself if you're not getting things at the first or second or third time. Meditation is really hard, especially for this society these days. We have so much technology and entertainment getting thrown in our face all the time that it becomes very difficult for just any of us in general to sit down and to really just center yourself. So don't be so hard on yourself if you're not getting things right away. But hopefully that helps. But I can't plea enough to make sure that you protect yourself, because especially at this time right now.
So now, in that case, I mean, I speaking for myself. I mean, I definitely, when I focused on reaching out to my guides, and we talked about it a bit, I believe. If not, we definitely will. Little signs coming up, maybe symbols. Like I have a 5-point star tattooed by my eye. I kept seeing them at one point in my life, looking for direction, and that's how they would show themselves, would be as a 5-point star. After that, the big thing for me is synchronicities of numbers. I even sent you 1111 the other night. I see them all the time, and people make fun of me. I'll post them on Facebook. Oh, because I caught it. If
Daily.
I see it multiple times in a day, I'll look it up. I'll Google it and be like, what's the meaning of that number? And I pick a random meaning. I don't just grab the first one. I grab whatever's there, right? I go through, okay, that feels like the one I want to click on. And then I read that meaning, and that's my message, perhaps. Or even a song, like with relatives that have passed. I believe they're my guides too. And sometimes messages come through in a song. You hear the verse, and the verse, you turn the radio on, and right, Mark? You turn the radio on, and I'm getting goosebumps. And boom, the first verse coming out of the singer's mouth, it was a message you needed to hear.
Yes.
I'm as you like to say, I'm piggybacking off of your comment to answer.
So happy you did, because that is such vital information. Like, there's a lot of things that all of us, like, you got to remember, we're all programmed, like, from the moment we're born to the moment that we're here now. Like, it's a programming. It's, you grow up as a child and learn to, respect your elders, or to do these specific things when it comes to your life, and it's like when you start getting older and you start looking back, it was just you were programmed to the point where you weren't able to kind of do the side missions, you know what I mean? Like being able to experience all the things that could have been if you were more open.
Right.
But then when you start, understanding all of these things, it's like, all of that starts coming through, and it's super vital to, just keep yourself open, protected, and to take everything as is.
And it's funny you say, looking back on our lives. I mean, again, speaking for myself, there's been opportunities. I look back, opportunities missed. People are placed in front of you, people, places, and things. Over the course of your life, you do manifest your whole life, and you don't even realize it. But you can look back. However, your journey is, all of a sudden, oh my God, if I would have shaken that gentleman's hand on that day and went to the right instead of the left for that lady, this would have happened. And he was already there. He was there for what I wanted. Right? And that it's like, then we're going into Akashic Records. I'm kind of opening a can of worms there. That's a whole other show. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's so many, you triggered a bunch of thoughts in my head. So it's like, I want to talk about it now. Sorry, it's not about me. So yes, Mark.
No, you're all good.
Learning so much from you. We're definitely going to have you on again. We need to do a part 2 with him. What do you think, Dale?
Absolutely. Chris Valentino said, thank you for the great information. So obviously everything you said to him resonated with him.
Good.
Just want to say hello to Terry, Cindy Snyder popping in. We have Justin Wilson popping in. We have Chris and Bob popping in. We have Amanda Knox popping in. Mark, you are just bringing people out of the woodworks today.
Nice.
And,
I'm really happy.
Like I said, your story is so fascinating. And yes, for sure. I know we're just scratching the surface of your story, and it's definitely we have Caitlin
Lubers.
Kissier Labbers says, "Hey everyone, congratulations, Mark." So yeah, like I said, your story and everything you're
Thank you.
telling us is so resonating with me right now. I mean, I've been on a journey on myself for the past few years. I really lost myself. I was in a very deep, dark hole. I found people who were able to guide me out, and I've been like trying to re discover myself. So for sure, everything you're saying today is definitely resonating with me, and I try to do the best that I can every day, helping the people around me to help them. Uh, so, like I said, yeah, definitely, you are definitely we definitely want to have you back. That's for sure. Uh,
I would be more than happy to do that.
Awesome. Thank you.
uh, but just yeah, it's just like everything you're saying to me today. I was just thinking back to the talk that Dustin Perry did today, and I was like, wow, you two are like definitely two peas in the pod today. So obviously the messages you were both saying, I needed to hear today. So yeah, so amazing, amazing. I had a question, and I just everything you said, it just pushed that one question out, but it'll come back to me.
Oh,
Michael John, what were you gonna say before?
I was reading comments. Well, there's another comment. Caitlin Lubbers, she says, part two. And then she says, you ask the universe and you shall receive. She sounds like another wise individual. Got to be a friend of yours.
she was the one that you met with me.
Okay. Well, oh my God. Hello,
Oh.
young lady. It's great to see you again. On and watching our show, and more importantly, supporting Mark. Mark, we're at the 11th hour here, if you will. I want to thank the entire TPV Nation for tuning in tonight. We can't do it without your support, of course. Thank you to everybody from Maine to Spain.
Thank you.
We got people everywhere. We've been very, very fortunate that way with our fans. But also, Mark, and we've been very fortunate, very blessed. I'll say it like that. We haven't had a guest yet that hasn't been amazing, and you are definitely up in that category. And why I say that,
Aw, I appreciate it.
without guests like yourself, we can't do what we do, and we can't be who we be. That's some really good English. We don't get to be who we are, and that's we get up here and we do what we love to do, and that's have a little humble show where we get to interview people with with different walks of life, A to Z in the paranormal world. And you are definitely an amazing metaphysical healer, experiencer, so many other amazing things. I mean, I'm so glad we had a chance to shake hands and talk and all that. And here we are now. And life is a journey. And thank you for being part of mine, Mark, and part of Dale's, and part of the TPV Nations. To everybody out there now, I want to say, Mark said what he wanted to say, what he needed to say, what he had to say. Damn it. He said it and then some, and it was amazing. We will see you all on the other side. But in the meantime, and in between time, Dale, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Happy hauntings.